Hey everybody, Mike Eckel's back, and it's time for a new week. The first week of April here coming up, and I have to tell you, we finished our first week as an online class now, and I have to tell you, I am so impressed by all of you. It is amazing to me what I saw over this past week. Actually, it was over the past like 15 hours or 24 hours. It's kind of funny. I give you until 11:59 on a Sunday night, and most of you took advantage and waited till the last second. So in the last 15 to 18 hours, I've done quite a bit of grading. But I will say this: of the four speech classes, I think we did an average of 21 students per class handed in a group paper, and a lot of them were great. This is a new assignment. This is kind of it deviates a little bit from the original assignment, and I was really impressed with a lot of the papers. Some of you really dove deep into groups that you've been in the past and what roles that you just feel that you just naturally assume. When some of you say, "Well, I'm a coordinator," this, or "I'm always an opinion seeker. I like to know what other people are feeling." I think the thing I thought was funniest when we got to the dysfunctional role is a lot of you said that the one dysfunctional role that you've all had to deal with in the past is a deserter. This is actually a big reason why. And you may find this out in the future when you're working in groups, whether it's at work or in another classroom. I know a lot of other classes, they tell you to meet on your own. I won't ever do that. I've been doing the group project since 1997, and I will always use class period time. So, for example, if you're in the Wednesday, Friday 145 class, it was going to be a Friday at 1:45 when you guys would have met in your groups. This way, it's already in your schedule. And see, one of the things I think is crazy is, there's six of us here, and if we have to meet on our own time, you got six different schedules. For example, if it's the Wednesday, Friday 1:45, you might have some of you who are just showing up at 1:45. That's your first class of the day. Some of you, that's your last class before the weekend. Some of you have to go to work right after class. Some of you don't. I mean, it's just, or have other duties, responsibilities. I think that's a big reason why some of those other classes that you've been in the past, it kind of gets screwed up. And you do get people like a deserter because they just have other things they're going to do on that time. So, but I was really impressed with a lot of your group papers. Some of you were really, really outstanding. So, well, it's now time to move on. And your next assignment is you are to present a 3 to 5 minute persuasive speech based on a topic of your choice. Now, let's go ahead and break this down. Number one, it does say on your syllabus 4 to 6 minutes, but I'm going to reduce it to 3 to 5 minutes. This is something where in a couple of weeks you're going to be setting up either your own computer or your phone, and you're going to record yourself. It doesn't have to be that long a speech. This is unfortunately, without an audience, it can be. And I'm not going to go ahead as some other online, like there are classes that are designed online, speech courses, where the professor requires people when they do a video speech that they're required to have like 3 or 4 people as audience members. I'm not going to do that. Remember, we weren't designed to be an online course. And quite honestly, at this at this point in time, if you don't have 3 or 4 people in your family, you can't have people over your house anyway because we're all quarantined or we're all on lockdown. So, we'll just do it 3 to 5 minutes, okay, based on a topic of your choice. Now, what that means is what I want you to do is I want you to choose a topic that long before you register for my class, long before you even registered at Bergen Community College, you had strong opinions or strong feelings about this particular topic. All right? And it could be anything, as long as it's something you feel strongly about. All right? If you want to talk about it, go right ahead. And what's more is if you have a strong opinion about something, this is your goal in the speech, you also want to get us to feel the same way you would. Now, when I say us, it doesn't look like all your other classmates are going to see your speech. I'm probably the only one who's going to see it. But if you were to present that speech in front of the class, you would want them to also feel the same way you do. See, what the goal is in a persuasive speech is to influence the opinion, attitude, and or behavior of your audience. See, when your speech is done, you want people to think the way you do, feel the way you do, share the same opinion or idea, or actually get people to do something you want them to do. That's what your goal is in a persuasive speech. And that's what you want to do. That's the topic that you want to choose, something that you feel that strongly about. Okay? So, with that said, there are two types of persuasive speeches that you can do. The first type is what we call a speech of conviction. All right? This is where you're pretty much just going after the opinion and attitude. All right? So when you write a specific purpose statement for a speech of conviction, it will be, after listening to my speech, my audience will agree with me. Boom. Okay. After listening to my speech, my audience will agree with me that we need to stop charging students so much for tuition. It's something like that. Okay. But that's a speech of conviction. After listening to my speech, my audience will agree with me. Now, in a speech of actuation, you not only want to go after the opinion and attitude, but you also actually want them to do something. Okay. Now, this is a pretty simple and basic specific purpose statement. After listening to my speech, my audience will, and then whatever you want them to do. After listening to my speech, my audience will stop smoking. After listening to my speech, my audience will stop eating junk food. After listening to my speech, my audience will write a letter to the governor in support of lowering the fare on the turnpike. I mean, whatever it is that you want people to do, that's what you do with a speech of actuation. All right? So what you're going to have to do is I'm going to have you research for a speech, and you have to find at least 3 sources. Now, in your syllabus, it says 4 sources, but I'm going to limit it to 3. Okay? You don't have to have any more than 3 sources. If you want more than 3, that's fine. Okay? Now, the beauty part about it is as you can see, I've included 4 sample outlines. 2 speeches of conviction, 2 speeches of actuation. And as you can see, the setup is very much the same, where you have the introduction with an attention gainer and a preview, you have main points, and then you have a conclusion with a review and some form of closure. Exactly the same. The only thing is that the theme of the speech is different now that it's a persuasive speech. So as you're setting up your speech, it's going to be very much the same. But what's going to be more important this time is the citing of those sources, because it's not like gathering information to help to inform your audience about something. No, you're going to be gathering information that you're going to use to help influence your audience. And what that information you're going to gather from your sources is called evidence. Okay? And that's what persuasive information is from your sources. It's used to influence. It's evidence. Okay? To prove that, here's my specific purpose statement, and now I'm using this to say why you should also. You can get up there and say, I want you all to agree with me that this is stupid. Why? Well, because I say so. But if you get up there and you say that this is stupid, and here's my evidence to prove that, this way it goes a long way to helping you to influence your audience. All right? So your assignment is attached. All I need from you by next week, by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., all I need is a sentence, and that's your specific purpose statement. But I hope that you will have done your research and have gathered at least 3 sources before you go ahead and send me your specific purpose statement. All right? All right, Com 100 people. Did a great job on the last assignment. I look forward to seeing some of your topics. All right? Take care. Oh, stay healthy.